Celebrities often possess vast fortunes, which many ordinary people can hardly achieve even after a lifetime of hard work. However, their life details are often exposed to the public eye, and this high level of exposure also makes them more vulnerable to becoming potential targets for those with malicious intentions. Like many young and beautiful girls, Jean Elizabeth Spangler, born naturally beautiful at the age of 26, had dreamed of becoming a movie star since she was a child, to be the focus of attention under the spotlight. However, it is a pity that what made her truly known to the public was not her acting career, but her disappearance. Jean Elizabeth Spangler was born on September 2, 1923, in Seattle, Washington. After graduating from high school, she first worked as a dancer in some theaters and occasionally worked as a model to make a living. Later, she began to venture into Hollywood, playing some small roles in several Hollywood movies, such as When My Baby Smiles at Me, directed by Walter Lang, Chicken Every Sunday, and the musical Young Man with a Horn. In 1942, Jean married businessman Dexter Benner. In 1944, their daughter Christine was born. However, the happy and sweet life after marriage was short-lived, and the two often quarreled afterwards. Jean accused Benner of domestic violence, while Benner accused Jean of being an irresponsible mother. Finally, in 1946, the two chose to divorce. After the divorce, Jean and her ex-husband Benner had a long-term custody battle. Initially, their daughter Christine was judged to be with Benner, and it was not until 1948 that Jean finally obtained custody of her daughter. Afterwards, Jean moved to her mother Florence's home on Wilshire Boulevard. Jean's brother Edward died in World War II, and Edward's wife Sophie, who was unwilling to remarry, also moved in with them. In her daily life, Sophie also helped Jean take care of Christine. On October 7, 1949, around 5:30 in the afternoon, Jean was preparing to go out. Before leaving home, she told Sophie that she was going to see her ex-husband Benner to ask for a late child support fee, and then go to the movie set to shoot night scenes for a movie. But Sophie told Jean that she had a nightmare last night, dreaming of seeing a woman lying in a coffin, and she thought it was an ominous sign. Since her husband Edward's death, Sophie often had nightmares, and bad things often happened after the nightmares. Sophie told Jean about her worries, but Jean was dismissive of it. Before going out, she kissed her daughter's forehead and said goodbye, and said to her daughter and Sophie, "Wish me luck," and then turned around and left the house. 2 hours after leaving, Jean called home, telling Sophie that she would have to work for 8 hours and might not be able to go home that night. It is usually not uncommon for Jean to stay out all night, and this time she also told Sophie that she might not go back that night, but for some unknown reason, it may be a premonition that Jean might have encountered an accident. The next morning, on October 8th, Sophie went to the police station to report the case. After receiving the report, the Los Angeles police did not pay attention. The police initially thought that it was normal for a young and beautiful single woman to stay out all night, and it was too much to report the case less than 24 hours after she went missing. There were a lot of criminal cases on hand, and there was no one to follow up on the investigation, so he hastily recorded the report information and sent Sophie away. But things changed quickly. At around 11 a.m. on October 9th, a patrol officer found an abandoned handbag near the entrance of Ferndale in Griffith Park, about 9 kilometers away from Jean's home. The strap of the handbag seemed to have been forcibly torn off, and the handbag was later confirmed to belong to Jean Elizabeth Spangler. At this time, the Los Angeles police realized that things were not good, and the strap of Jean's handbag seemed to have been forcibly torn off from her arm. What puzzled the police even more was that there was a note in Jean's handbag addressed to Kirk, which read, "Kirk, can't wait any longer, going to see Dr. Scott. It will work best this way while Mother is away." The note was unsigned and ended with a comma, and the handwriting was identified as Jean's, which made the authorities believe that Jean was probably in a hurry at the time, or encountered something that prevented her from finishing writing. After that, 60 police officers and 140 volunteers conducted a carpet search of the surrounding area, but no clues were found. Soon, this incident was widely reported by the media. Who is Kirk mentioned in the note? Who is Dr. Scott? Are they related to Jean's disappearance? Since Zhang mentioned in the note that she was going to see Dr. Scott, the deputy director of the Los Angeles Police Department decided to investigate all doctors named Scott in Los Angeles one by one, hoping to find a breakthrough and find Jean's whereabouts. Soon after, Deputy Director Ted Brown received a call from a Hollywood superstar named Kirk Douglas. Yes, he is the father of Oscar-winning actor Michael Douglas. Kirk Douglas said he was on vacation in Palm Springs and saw the report of Jean's disappearance in the newspaper. He took the initiative to tell the deputy director that he was not familiar with the missing girl and that Zhang was an extra in the film he starred in, Tishomingo Blues. However, he had not contacted Zhang himself. Under the questioning of Deputy Director Ted Brown, Kirk Douglas admitted that he had talked and joked with Zhang on the set, but that was all, and he had never had any contact with Zhang outside the set. On October 12, 1949, Kirk Douglas issued a formal statement in which he said, "I told Deputy Director Ted Brown that I didn't remember the girl's name until a friend reminded me that she was the girl who played as an extra on the set." On the other hand, investigators investigated all doctors named Scott in Los Angeles one by one, but they were all ruled out as suspects. At this time, the police received a call from a friend of Zhang who said that Zhang had told her about her pregnancy before she disappeared. Investigators also learned from other sources that there was a man nicknamed Doctor who, although he had only received some simple medical training, often solicited business near Sunset Boulevard, privately helping women who wanted to abort their pregnancies for a fee. In fact, abortion was illegal in the United States in 1947, but many actresses had abortions in the 1940s. Marilyn Monroe admitted to having had 12 abortions. The studios did not need pregnant actresses, which also gave rise to the underground abortion industry. Despite the police sending out a large number of police officers to search, they still did not find the fake doctor who helped women have abortions. The clues provided by the note seemed to have reached a dead end. Investigators decided to delve into Jean's interpersonal relationships and reconstruct her whereabouts a few hours before she disappeared. According to the information provided by Sophie, Zhang had told her before leaving home that she was going to ask her ex-husband for a late child support fee and then go to the set to shoot. So the police interviewed Jean's ex-husband Benner, but Benner claimed that he had not seen his ex-wife for several weeks. His new wife, Lynn Lask-Benny, confirmed his statement. At the same time, another group of investigators visited the studios that were filming in Los Angeles at the time and learned that they did not arrange night shooting tasks on October 7th during this period. The police received several clues from the informants, and based on these clues, the investigators roughly sorted out Jean's possible whereabouts on the night of her disappearance. Around 5:30 p.m. on October 7th, Zhang said goodbye to her daughter and Sophie and left home. Around 6 p.m., the owner of a grocery store a few blocks away from Jean's residence saw her lingering in the store, seemingly waiting for someone. Around 7:30 p.m., Zhang called home from a public phone, informing Sophie that she might not come back that night because she had a shooting event that night. Around 1:30 a.m. on October 8th, Terry Taylor, the owner of a cheese restaurant on Sunset Boulevard, saw Zhang sitting with a man in his 30s who had brown-black hair and was well-groomed of medium build. Boss Terry claimed to know Zhang, and she often patronized his restaurant. Joseph, a magazine vendor at the restaurant entrance, also confirmed Boss Terry's account. Around 2 a.m. on October 8th, radio host Lazarus saw Zhang at the cheese restaurant on Sunset Boulevard. He said Zhang was sitting with two men at the time, and the three seemed to be arguing about something. He wanted to greet Zhang, but one of the men waved him away. On the morning of October 8th, at a gas station located at 8400 Sunset Boulevard, a gas station attendant named Art Rogers witnessed a man driving a blue-gray convertible pull into the station. A young woman was sitting in the passenger seat, and the man ordered Rogers to fill the tank, stating they were heading to Fresno. As the man drove away, the woman in the passenger seat shouted to Rogers, "Have the police follow this car!" Rogers claimed that the woman resembled the missing actress featured in the newspapers. Unfortunately, the police were unable to locate the man who was with Jean or any clues about the suspicious blue-gray convertible. However, investigators learned that Jean had a wide social circle and complex social relationships. Jean's mother, Florence, later told the police that a man named Kirk may have picked up her daughter twice at their home, but he always waited in the car and never entered the house. Some of Jean's friends told the police that before her divorce from her ex-husband Dexter, she had an affair with an Air Force lieutenant named Scotty, who was known for being violent towards Jean and had threatened to kill her if she left him. However, her lawyer stated that Jean had ended the relationship in 1945 and had not been in contact with Scotty since. Robert Cummings, a Hollywood star who acted alongside Jean in the movie Pretty Girl, told the police that 2 weeks before Jean's disappearance, she had confided in him about a new romance, which she said was not serious, but brought her great joy. However, she did not mention the person's name to him at the time. Some reported to the police that Jean had an ambiguous relationship with local gang member David Ogle and was also on good terms with gang member Nikolai. Witnesses told investigators that Jean and Ogle were seen together in Palm Springs a week before her disappearance. Strangely, Nikolai disappeared a month before Jean's disappearance, and Ogle vanished shortly after Jean's disappearance. Ogle and Nikolai were both underlings of organized crime boss Mickey Cohen, who had a close relationship with Eli Lasky. Eli Lasky was the ex-husband of Jean's ex-husband Dexter's current wife, Lynn Lasky. It was reported to the police that Jean had a diverse group of friends, including wealthy playboys. She was known to associate with local millionaire Thomas Lee and had dated Johnny Stompanato, a bodyguard and gangster associated with Mickey Cohen. Despite extensive investigations, the case remained unsolved. There were several theories regarding Jean's disappearance. 1. Some believed Jean was another victim of the Black Dahlia case, which shocked the United States 2 years prior to Jean's disappearance. The mutilated body of 22-year-old Elizabeth Short was found in a vacant lot on Norton Avenue in southwestern Los Angeles. Initially, some thought Jean was killed by the same person who murdered Elizabeth Short. 2. It was thought that Jean might have died in an accident during an abortion, and the doctor who performed the procedure secretly disposed of her body to avoid being implicated. This theory was based on the note found in Jean's handbag, which mentioned Dr. Scott, suggesting Jean was going for an abortion, and Jean's statement to a friend that she was pregnant before her disappearance. 3. Some believed Jean was killed by her ex-husband Dexter, who then disposed of her body. Sophie suspected Dexter harbored resentment over the custody battle and Jean's infidelity, and noticed a fresh wound on Dexter's face the day after Jean's disappearance, which she believed was a scratch. 4. There was speculation that Jean might have been pregnant with the child of Hollywood superstar Kirk Douglas, and she may have used this to blackmail him into acknowledging the child and making their relationship public. This would have severely impacted his family and career, leading to a desperate act of murder and burying of the body. 5. Some thought Jean might have been killed by gang members. Jean was known to be close to Mickey Cohen's underlings, David Ogle and Nikolai, both of whom disappeared around the time of Jean's disappearance. 6. It was believed that Jean was killed by her former lover, Air Force Lieutenant Scotty, as an act of revenge for her leaving him. 7. Some thought Jean was kidnapped and murdered, based on the testimony of the gas station attendant. The disappearance of Jean Elizabeth Spangler sparked various public speculations, and the police have been searching for her whereabouts for years, issuing missing person notices across the United States in an attempt to find any clues about her disappearance. Possible sightings included Northern and Southern California, Phoenix, Arizona, and Mexico City in the following 2 years, but these could not be verified. To this day, the young Hollywood actress is still classified as a missing person by the Los Angeles police, and the case files show that the case is still under investigation. 70 years have passed, and the disappearance of Jean Elizabeth Spangler remains an unsolved mystery. This channel posts a variety of cases every day. If you're interested, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the content. It's the best support you can offer.